She spent her father's 4 years of 18-hour taxi shifts on Brazilian hair for a December boyfriend. He married his Lagos fiancée in March. She's selling pure water now. Zuri Okonkwo had a 3.8 GPA and 6 months left until graduation. That November morning, she sat in her small room at the University of Lagos, staring at the brown envelope her father had just placed in her hands. Inside was 500,000 naira in cash. "Final year school fees," Papa Obi said, his voice shaking with pride. His hands were calloused from gripping the steering wheel 18 hours a day, 6 days a week for 4 years straight. "We did it, my daughter. Your mama and I, we did it." Mama Obi wiped tears from her eyes. The woman had sold double portions at Oyingbo Market for years, adding extra tomatoes, extra peppers, anything to squeeze out additional profit. She'd saved every 100 naira note like it was gold. They'd eaten Gary and groundnut for dinner most nights, so their brilliant daughter could finish her economics degree. "Papa, Mama," Zuri whispered, clutching the envelope to her chest. "After graduation, everything changes. I promise you. I'll get a good job in a bank. We'll move from that face me, I face you apartment. I'll send my younger ones to better schools. Just 6 more months." Papa Obi smiled, his eyes wet. "We believe in you. You've never disappointed us." They left her room, and Zuri placed the money carefully in her metal box under her bed. 500,000 naira. Her parents' blood and sweat converted to paper. She said a prayer of gratitude and returned to studying for her financial management exam. For 3 days, Zuri was focused. Library mornings, afternoon lectures, evening study groups. She barely noticed the gossip swirling around campus as December approached. Then her roommate, Amma, came rushing in, breathless with news. "Zuri, you know that guy Caro? The one that works in oil and gas in Lagos?" Zuri looked up from her textbook, barely interested. "No, who?" "Girl, he's back in the village for December. My cousin saw him at the mall. Range Rover Sport, latest model, designer everything. And you know what he does every Christmas holiday?" "What?" Zuri asked, half listening. "He looks for one fine university babe to show off with during the season. Takes her to nice places, sprays money. Then he goes back to Lagos in January." Amma laughed. "Foolish girls always fall for it." Zuri returned to her textbook, but something had lodged itself in her mind. A small seed, barely noticeable. That night, lying in bed, she found herself thinking, what if she could catch a man like that? Not for December fun, but seriously. A man working in oil and gas, driving Range Rover. If she became his girlfriend, his wife even, she'd upgrade her entire family immediately. Her parents would never suffer again. But men like that didn't notice girls like her. Simple clothes, no makeup, always carrying textbooks. She was invisible to that kind of man. Unless, what if she looked different, just for December, just to catch his attention, make him fall for her? Then everything would change. The thought grew roots. She shook her head, trying to focus on her studies. But the seed had been planted in dangerous soil. She didn't know it yet, but that small thought would cost her everything. If you're watching this and recognizing warning signs in your own life or someone you know, don't stop here. Subscribe and follow for more stories that could save you from similar mistakes. These aren't just tales. They're lessons written in real tears and real consequences. December 10th. Zuri saw him at the Ikeja City Mall. Kara was everything Amma had described and more. Tall, maybe 6'2", with the kind of smooth dark skin that looked like money. His watch caught the light. A Rolex, she thought, though she'd never seen one in person. He wore a crisp white shirt, designer jeans, and moved with the confidence of a man who'd never been told no. He was with 3 friends, all of them loud and laughing, drinking smoothies at the food court. Their table radiated success. Zuri stood 30 feet away in her faded jeans and university t-shirt, holding her small purse. She might as well have been invisible. His eyes swept past her twice without stopping. That night, she couldn't sleep. She lay in her hostel bed while Amma snored softly, staring at the ceiling, replaying that moment, the way he hadn't seen her, the way men like him would never see girls like her. But what if they could? At 2 a.m. she made the decision. She'd take $200,000 from the school fees, transform herself completely, catch Caro's attention during December, make him fall for her. Once he was serious, once he loved her, she'd tell him about school. He was rich. 200,000 naira was nothing to him. He'd pay her fees, probably give her even more. It wasn't stealing from her parents. It was investing in all their futures. The rationalization felt logical at 2 a.m. It felt like wisdom. December 12th. She told her parents she'd paid the fees and kept the receipt at school. They believed her. Why wouldn't they? She'd never lied before. December 13th. She took a bus to Lagos Island, to the Brazilian hair vendor everyone on campus whispered about. The woman's shop smelled like expensive shampoo and ambition. "How much for the 26-inch deep wave?" Zuri asked. 80,000, the woman said, barely looking up. Zuri counted out the cash, her hands shaking slightly. The woman's eyes sharpened with interest. December 14th. She bought 3 outfits from a vendor who sold convincing designer knockoffs, a red dress that hugged her curves, a white pantsuit that screamed sophistication, a black mini dress for evening, 50,000 naira total. December 15th. Professional makeup application and lash extensions at a beauty studio. The makeup artist transformed her face. "You're gorgeous," the woman said. "Why you been hiding this face?" 30,000 for the makeup session and products to maintain the look. Another 40,000 as deposit for a decent hotel room. She couldn't take a Range Rover man to her student hostel with its stained walls and bucket baths. Amma came back to their room that evening and stopped dead in the doorway. "Zuri, is that you?" Zuri stood in front of their cracked mirror, barely recognizing herself. The Brazilian hair flowed down her back in perfect waves. Her face looked like the Instagram girls she'd always envied. The red dress fit like it was custom made. "How you get money for all this?" Amma asked slowly. "I saved small, Zuri lied. "Zuri, that hair alone is 80,000. The dress is designer. What's going on?" "Mind your business, Amma. I know what I'm doing." "Do you? Because this looks like school fees money. School fees that's supposed to—" "I said I know what I'm doing," Zuri snapped. "Just watch. By January, I'll have everything sorted. You'll see." She practiced walking in the new heels, practiced talking in the softer, more polished voice she'd been perfecting. Watched YouTube videos on how to act classy, how to keep a rich man interested. December 18th. She returned to the same mall, transformed. This time, when Caro's eyes swept the food court, they stopped on her. His gaze lingered. She pretended not to notice, sipping her smoothie elegantly, crossing her legs the way the YouTube videos had taught her. He whispered something to his friends. They looked at her, nodded approvingly. Then Caro stood up and walked toward her table. "Excuse me," he said, his voice smooth as honey. "I don't usually do this, but I couldn't let you leave without saying you're the most beautiful woman I've seen all year." Zuri looked up, feigning surprise. "Oh, thank you. I'm Caro. And you are?" "Zuri. Can I join you, Zuri?" She smiled. "Sure." He sat down, and she didn't know she'd already lost. December 19th through 31st became the best days of Zuri's life, or so she thought. Caro texted her constantly. Good morning messages with rose emojis. Good night messages calling her my queen. During the day, he took her places she'd only seen on Instagram Explore pages. December 20th, lunch at the Sheraton Hotel in Ikeja. Zuri had never been inside a hotel that nice. The waiter pulled out her chair. The menu had no prices. Caro ordered like money was air. Grilled fish, pasta, drinks, dessert. The bill came to 45,000 naira. He paid without blinking, then left a 5,000 naira tip. "You're not like other girls," he told her over wine. "Lagos girls, they're too loud, too demanding. But you're different, classy, refined." She glowed under his words. December 23rd. He took her shopping at Palms Mall. "Pick any perfume you want, baby." She chose a Chanel bottle she'd always dreamed of owning. 15,000 naira. He bought it like it was 15 naira. In the car afterward, he held her hand. "I'm so glad I met you this December. Usually these holidays are boring, but you've made everything special." Her heart soared. This was real. He was serious about her. December 25th, Christmas Day. He picked her up in the Range Rover, drove her to his family compound in Lekki. The house had a swimming pool, an actual swimming pool. His mother served jollof rice on china plates. After lunch, he pulled her aside and handed her an envelope. "Merry Christmas, baby." Inside was 50,000 naira in crisp notes. "Caro, this is too much." "Nonsense. Buy yourself something nice. You deserve it." She threw her arms around him, almost crying with happiness. See, her investment was already paying off. That 50,000 could go toward, but instead she spent it on more clothes, more makeup, more things to keep impressing him, because now she had to maintain the illusion she'd created. December 28th, the hotel room she'd rented. She'd told him she was staying there while visiting Lagos for the holidays. He believed her. Why would he question it? That night was everything the movies promised. He was gentle, romantic, attentive. Afterward, he held her close and whispered, "I've never met anyone like you. You're different from Lagos girls. They're all fake, but you're real." The irony was lost on her. "After New Year, I'll come see you more often," he promised. "Maybe even introduce you to my friends properly. Make it official." "Official?" Her heart raced. "Yeah, my girlfriend, if you want that." "Of course I want that." He kissed her forehead. "Then it's settled. You're mine now." Meanwhile, back at the hostel, Amma was going through Zuri's metal box. She found the remaining 300,000 naira and did the math. School fees were 500,000. This was 300,000, which meant when Zuri returned the next morning, Amma was waiting. "Where is the other 200,000? "What are you talking about?" "Your school fees, Zuri. Where is it?" "I paid it already." "Stop lying. School hasn't even resumed." "Where is the money?" The truth came tumbling out. The hair, the clothes, the hotel, the plan, all of it. Amma's face went gray. "Are you insane? School resumes January 15th. You need to pay by January 20th, or you can't attend classes." Where will you get 200,000 in 3 weeks? Zuri smiled, confident. Caro will help me. He gave me 50,000 for Christmas, like it was nothing. Once I tell him I'm in school and need help with fees, he'll pay it. He loves me, Amma. You didn't hear how he talks to me. Zuri, you've known this man for 9 days. Sometimes you just know. You'll see. He's different. December 31st, New Year's Eve. Caro took her to a beach party in Lekki. Fireworks exploded over the ocean at midnight. He kissed her as the sky lit up in gold and silver. This year is ours, baby, he whispered. 2024 is our year. She believed him with every cell in her body. January 1st, 2024. He packed his bags, loaded the Range Rover. I have to head back to Lagos today. Work starts January 3rd. When will I see you again? Soon, baby. Very soon. I'll call you when I reach Lagos, okay? And I'll come back in 2 weeks. I promise. She stood in her hotel room doorway, watching him drive away, waving until the Range Rover disappeared around the corner. She was certain of their future together. He never called. Not that day. Not that week. Not ever again. Stop here for a moment. Do you see the pattern forming? If this story is making your heart race because you recognize someone, yourself, a friend, a sister, please hit subscribe. What happens next is where everything falls apart, and you need to see it to believe how fast a life can unravel. January 2nd. No call. Zuri told herself he was probably tired from the drive. Lagos traffic was terrible. He'd call tomorrow. January 3rd. No call. Work must be hectic on the first day back. He'd call tonight. January 4th. She called him. Rang once, then went to voicemail. She texted, "Hi, baby, just checking on you. Hope work isn't too stressful. Miss you." No reply. January 5th through 10th. She called 17 times, sent 34 messages, each one more desperate than the last. Is everything okay? Did I do something wrong? Please just let me know you're safe. Caro, please, I'm worried. Every message delivered, none read. She made excuses to herself. His phone probably broke. He lost it. He's in some work emergency. There's a logical explanation. January 11th. She called again. This time, a robotic voice. The number you have dialed is not available. Switched off. Panic seized her chest like a physical thing. She couldn't breathe properly. She tried WhatsApp. His profile picture was gone. Last seen, January 1st, January 12th. She took a bus to his family compound in Lekki, her hands shaking the entire ride. She'd been there once, on Christmas. She remembered the house with the swimming pool. His younger brother answered the gate. "Please, I'm looking for Caro." The boy, maybe 19, looked her up and down with something like pity. "He went back to Lagos." "I know, but his number isn't going through. Can you give me his address in Lagos? Or another number?" Oga Caro doesn't give out his Lagos address. "But I'm his girlfriend. We spent all of December together." The boy laughed, not cruelly, but with weary recognition. "You and how many others? Look, sister, my brother does this every Christmas. He comes home, finds one fine girl, spends December with her, then goes back to Lagos to his fiancée. You should just forget him." The words hit her like a truck. Fiancé? Yes, now. They're getting married next month, Seth. February 14th. Valentine's Day wedding. Big society wedding in Lagos. My brother and Kioma, they've been together for 5 years. The ground tilted. That's not... He told me. We were going to be official. Sorry, sister, but you should go now. And don't come back. Here. The gate closed in her face. January 13th and 14th passed in a blur. Zuri lay in bed, unable to eat, unable to think. She'd spent 200,000 naira on a man who had a fiancé the entire time, a man who told her she was different while knowing exactly how the story would end. She'd been entertainment, a December holiday toy. January 15th, school resumed. She dragged herself to the bursar's office, hoping for a miracle, a payment plan, anything. Miss Okonkwo, the bursar said, checking her records, your fees haven't been paid. I know. I'm having a small delay. Can I pay in installments? Final year students must pay in full by January 20th. No exceptions. It's in the school policy. Please, Ma, my parents already paid, but there was an emergency and then bring the money by January 20th, or you cannot attend classes. Next. January 16th and 17th. She tried everything, went to 3 banks for loans, denied, no collateral, asked her aunties for help. They had nothing. Considered lying to her parents, asking for more money, but what lie could explain needing another 200,000? January 18th, she had to tell them the truth. She took a bus home to their one-room apartment in Mushin. Her parents were there, preparing dinner. They smiled when she walked in, so happy to see their university daughter. Zuri, we didn't expect you. How is school? She sat down, started crying. Everything came out. The Brazilian hair, the man, the December lie, the missing 200,000 naira. Papa Obi's face transformed. Happiness drained away, replaced by something worse than anger. Shock, disbelief. Then a pain so deep it looked physical. 4 years, he whispered. 4 years I drove taxi, 18 hours a day, 6 days a week. My back is permanently damaged. My eyes are weak from night driving. Your mother sold double portions at market, skipped meals so we could save. We saved every 100 naira like it was gold. And you spent it in hair? Papa, I thought. You thought what? That a rich man would save you? That you could skip the hard work and just marry money? Mama Obi wasn't shouting. She was just crying silently, her body shaking. I'm sorry, Zuri sobbed. I'm so sorry. I thought. Your younger brother and sister, Papa Obi said, his voice breaking. We were going to use the money you'd send after graduation to put them in better schools. That was the plan. You graduate, get a good job, help the family. But now, he stood up, stumbling slightly. His hand went to his chest. Papa! My heart. I can't breathe. He collapsed. January 19th. Papa Obi was in the ICU at Lagos State University Teaching Hospital. Massive heart attack. The doctors said it was caused by severe stress and shock. The surgery would cost 350,000 naira. They used the remaining school fees money, all of it, plus borrowed from neighbors. January 20th. Zuri received the official letter from University Administration. Due to non-payment of fees, Miss Zuri Okonkwo is hereby withdrawn from the University of Lagos, effective immediately. 6 months from graduation. 3.8 GPA. Economics degree, all of it gone. 2 weeks ago she'd been flying. Now she was drowning. And the bottom was still coming. February 2024. Papa Obi survived the surgery, but the doctors said he'd never work again. His heart was too damaged. The stress had caused permanent cardiac damage. The man who'd driven 18-hour shifts for 4 years to save his daughter's future could now barely walk to the bathroom without getting winded. The medical bills consumed everything. The 300,000 remaining from school fees, borrowed money from 5 different neighbors, a loan from Mama Obi's Market Association that would take 2 years to repay. The family was now in debt, deep debt, and it was all Zuri's fault. February 10th. Her younger siblings, 16-year-old Chidi and 14-year-old Adana, had to drop out of their secondary school. No money for fees. They looked at Zuri with eyes that said everything their mouths didn't. "We should be in school," Chidi said one night. "But instead we're here because you wanted Brazilian hair." The entire neighborhood knew. In their face me, I face you compound and Mushin, secrets didn't exist. Mama Caro from the next room told everyone at the market. Brother Emeka from 2 doors down told everyone at the beer parlor. Within a week, everybody knew the story. That Okonkwo girl, the university one, she spent her school fees on hair for man. Now the family's suffering. When Zuri walked to buy kerosene, people whispered. When she fetched water from the compound tap, mothers pulled their daughters aside and used her as a warning tale. "You see, Zuri, don't be like her, oh. Education first, before man." The shame was crushing, more crushing than the poverty, more crushing than the lost degree. March through July 2024. Zuri took any work she could find. Housemaid for a family in Yaba, they paid 40,000 monthly, but fired her after 6 weeks when they caught her crying while cleaning. Sales girl at a boutique in Ojuelegba, 25,000 monthly, standing 12 hours a day. Washing plates at a buka, 15,000 monthly, plus leftover food to take home. The Brazilian hair was still on her head, but now it was a mockery. Matted, faded from black to rusty brown. She couldn't afford the 20,000 naira to remove it properly, so she just tied it in a rough bun with rubber bands. Every time she caught her reflection, she saw her stupidity staring back. May 14th. She saw the Instagram posts, Caro and Chioma's wedding photos. Hashtag CaroChi Wedding 2024. The bride was beautiful, light-skinned, wearing a dress that probably cost more than 2 years of Zuri's family's rent. The couple looked like royalty, 300 likes per photo. Comments like, "True love," and "God when." Zuri sat in her one room, staring at the photos on her cracked phone screen. She finally understood. She'd never been the girlfriend, never been the almost wife. She'd been the December holiday entertainment for a man who'd probably forgotten her name by mid-January. She wasn't even competition. She'd been a joke. August 2024. She tried reapplying to the university, went to the admissions office in person, begged them to let her finish her final year. They calculated the cost, 800,000 naira. She'd have to pay for the year she'd missed, plus the final year fees. "If you can pay this by October, we can readmit you for the new session," the admissions officer said. 800,000 naira. Impossible. Utterly impossible. September through December 2024. Zuri became a pure water seller, the kind you see in Lagos traffic, carrying a basin of cold water sachets on your head, running between cars when the light turns red, begging drivers to buy. Pure water, cold, pure water. She made maybe 2,000 naira on good days, 1,000 on bad days, in the sun, in the rain, dodging aggressive drivers, competing with 50 other water sellers at the same traffic light. The same girl who'd had a 3.8 GPA, who'd been 6 months from an economics degree, who'd been going to work in a bank and change her family's life, now selling pure water at mile 2. This is the reality, not the Instagram version, not the "he came back and saved me" fairy tale. This is what actually happens. If these stories matter to you, if you believe other young women need to hear them, subscribe now. Share this. Let it reach the one person who needs to read it before she makes Zuri's mistake. 2 years later, December 2026. Zuri is 26 now. She's been selling pure water for 2 years straight. Her hands are rough. Her skin is darker from the sun. She wears the same 3 outfits, rotating them throughout the week. The Brazilian hair is finally gone. She cut it off herself with scissors 8 months ago. But her natural hair is unkempt, always hidden under a scarf. Papa Obi sits at home, unable to work, taking heart medication they can barely afford. Mama Obi still sells at the market, but the debt from the hospital has aged her 10 years. She looks 70, though she's only 52. Chidi, now 18, works as an apprentice mechanic instead of preparing for university. Adana, 16, helps Mama Obi at the market instead of finishing secondary school. The family's dreams died the day Zuri spent that school fees money. December 17th, 2026. A Wednesday afternoon. Zuri is at her usual spot at mile 2 traffic, balancing her basin of pure water on her head. It's hot. Lagos traffic is thick, horns blaring, exhaust fumes choking. A car stops. A young girl, maybe 21 or 22, university student from the look of her. Simple jeans, school t-shirt, hair in a natural bun, books visible on the passenger seat. She's what Zuri used to be. Sister, pure water, Zuri calls. The girl winds down the window. How much? 50 naira. The girl hands her a 100 naira note. Keep the change. As Zuri gives her the water sachet, she notices something. The girl has this look, this light in her eyes, hope, future, everything Zuri used to have. Thank you, sister, the girl says, smiling. Something breaks in Zuri's chest. She leans closer to the car window. Sister, please, I don't know you, but let me tell you something. Stay focused on your books. Don't let any man distract you. Not even for one December. Not even if he's driving Range Rover. Not even if he promises you heaven. Your education is permanent. The man is temporary. Protect your future. The girl looks surprised, but nods slowly. Okay, sister. Thank you. The light turns green. The car drives away. Zuri stands in the traffic, watching the vehicle disappear into the sea of Lagos chaos. Tears run down her face, mixing with sweat. She's still standing there when the next red light brings new cars, new customers, new chances to make 50 naira. This is her life now. This is her forever. Education was permanent. The man was temporary. By the time she learned the difference, both were gone. And so the ancestors teach us a truth written in tears and regret. What you sacrifice for temporary pleasure will haunt you permanently. Zuri traded 4 years of her parents' blood and sweat for 1 month of fake love. She traded 18-hour taxi shifts for Brazilian hair that faded. She traded her mother's skipped meals for designer dresses that tore. She traded her entire future for a man who never saw her as his future. The hair is gone now, cut off with kitchen scissors because she couldn't afford a salon. The clothes are torn or sold. The hotel memories became nightmares that wake her at 3 a.m. But the degree she didn't get, that loss is forever. Her father's broken heart and permanently damaged body, forever. Her younger siblings' stolen education, forever. Her family's destroyed dreams, forever. Her own shattered life, forever. Young women, hear this truth clearly. A man who is truly yours will not require your destruction to notice you. If he needs you to gamble your future just to get his attention, he is not your future. He is your end. If he makes you feel like you must transform, must spend, must prove yourself worthy, then you have already lost because he has already decided you are temporary. Education is the only thing they cannot take from you. Not a man, not poverty, not circumstance. Once that degree is in your hand, it is yours forever. It opens doors that beauty cannot open. It provides security that charm cannot provide. It gives you power that no man can grant or revoke. Protect your education like your life, because it is your life. December will come and go. Smooth-talking men will arrive with Range Rovers and promises, then disappear like smoke. But that degree, that skill, that knowledge, those are your true lovers. They will never abandon you. They will never lie to you. They will never leave you selling pure water in traffic while they marry someone else. Zuri's story is not unique. Right now, in universities across this nation, girls are making the same choice, spending school fees on boyfriends, prioritizing relationships over education, believing that love will save them from hard work. But love without strategy is just expensive hope. Don't let your December destroy your lifetime. Don't let 1 month of attention cost you 40 years of achievement. Don't let temporary affection steal your permanent transformation. Your parents' sacrifices deserve better. Your future self deserves better. Your family's dreams deserve better. You deserve better. Stay focused, stay disciplined, stay in school. The man can wait. The Range Rover can wait. The Brazilian hair can wait. But your education, that deadline doesn't wait for anyone. Zuri learned this lesson at the cost of everything. If this story touched you, moved you, or opened your eyes, subscribe now. These aren't just stories. They're warnings, lessons, and lifelines for the next generation. Every week, I share more truth that could change a life. Hit that subscribe button and share this with every young woman who needs to hear it. One share could save someone's future. Be that person.